Morning.
Welcome to Grow and Go, where today is really all about taking the next steps in your real estate journey. Thank y'all so much for being here, because it doesn't matter if you're a quote-unquote rookie or you're just looking to scale your business or level up your professional game. That is what we are here for today. And already looking across the room, I do see a lot of familiar faces. I see some new faces, and again, thank y'all for being here. And if you haven't seen me or met me yet on social media, I'm Josh Carmona. I'm your 2025 chapter president of NARD. Thank you so much. You're going to hear a lot of things today that are going to make you like, oh, that gives me an idea. But all the ideas don't mean anything unless you apply them, unless you can implement them in your daily life and your professional strategy. We're going to show you how to do that as well, too. So remember that while others are stuck in the same routine, you are here investing in your growth and in your future. And this is really how you thrive in 25. See, I threw that in there somehow. Before we do get into our panelists, I do want to actually bring up our annual silver partner, Bank of America. Please come forward.
Thank you for having me. Buenos días. My name is Hector Montes. I am a bilingual centralized sales manager for Bank of America, or run a bilingual team in the call center. Been with the bank for 14 years, all in that same line of business. Just wanted to discuss the bank's commitment to community lending. We've got a couple programs right now that have rolled out over the last few years. We've invested upwards of $20 billion in these underserved communities. One of them is the Affordable Loan Solution Program, which is something that we can use here in Phoenix. We've got a Community Affordable, which rolled out 5 other counties. Some media outlets called it the Black and Brown Program, which really didn't bode well for some of these phone calls that came in for some interesting conversations. But the great thing about the Affordable is it's $17,500 worth of grant money that your clients can use for down payment closing costs. Okay, they are grants, don't have to be paid back. They can be combined with other grants as well. Great thing about it is because it is income-based, it is only borrower income, not household income, right? I know some programs require household income to qualify. And at 150% of the median income, they can go up to $151,000 combined income for whoever's on the loan. So use it. It's a great product, great program. And we appreciate every one of you that showed up today. Thank you.
All right, now it is time for our first session. A powerhouse happening. Up next will be Juan Grimaldo from the Grimaldo Group at KW Realty.
Thank you, man.
Coming to next, Ivan Vasquez, Regional Sales Manager at Security National Mortgage.
Made some notes on my phone.
And last but not least, he is our NARD Phoenix 2024 past president and founder of AZ Related Group at Anywhere Real Estate and Global Banker. Give it up for Ricardo Cortazar. One more time, let's give it another warm welcome to our panelists here this morning. All right, so we're going to jump right into it. Our time is we're going to stay on schedule because there's a lot to go through today. How are we going to do this? We can just start and go down. We can kind of go back on the next question here. We'll take about, 2 to 3 minutes per response so that way everyone gets to speak. And remember, part of what we're doing today in our mastermind session on the second half, we'll give you the opportunity to sit at some tables. That way you can go a little deeper on something that they may have spoke about while on the panel on stage. Question number 1. What are some important tactical steps that each of you take that have helped you drive your business success? For example, what are actionable steps that anyone can take starting today, not tomorrow, we start today, to become a better salesperson? Yvonne, we'll start with you.
Listen to yourself, record yourself, see how you sound. Would you buy from yourself? Just be completely honest. And I personally don't feel like I'm a salesperson. I don't ever felt, even when I was only a producing loan officer, I never felt like I was selling anything. I was providing a service. And my style has always been to educate you. I can tell you how important it is for you to buy a house. I can tell you how that can change the wealth for your family and how it can change your future. I can speak from my own personal experience and how it changed my life, but I cannot sell you on buying something that you need. And I always said, this, I was on the radio for a really long time, in Spanish radio, but I always said, like, the only thing that is not getting made is land. Like, there's only a certain amount of land on earth, and you can only start building up. So if you want a piece of land, then you have to buy as soon as possible, before those prices go up, before that's no longer available. I work a lot in Hawaii, so there's only a percentage of the land that can be residential and that they can build on because there's a lot of laws and preservation laws. So literally, there's a limited amount of houses and properties that you can get to. Like, get to it now, don't think about it, because we don't know what's going to be here. And now you can see there's tons of houses that are for rent and apartments that are for rent, and they're not going to go up for sale anytime soon.
That's good.
So I feel like, especially new agents, they always feel like, oh, I need to spend money on this, and we have this, what's called like bumblebee syndrome, or focus on things that are free and what you have access to. Number one is no one's going to use you. They don't know that you do real estate, right? Social media is huge, and people need to get to know you. And I feel like when so many people ask for your business card, they'll have your business card, but they'll also look you up because people want to know you as a person. So work on your social media. Like I look people up all the time, especially when I refer deals like outside of the state or just even Tucson or Prescott, and I'm like, okay, let me check you out. Because if you don't have anything on there for the past like 7 years, I'm like, all right, this person, like I don't even know them as a person, so I feel like social media really helps with credibility and also allowing people to get to know you and your interests and who you are as a person. Number two, talking free stuff, there's a lot of things that you can do, especially in MLS. Make a list as a realtor of everybody that you know that owns a home. Instead of them going to Zillow and what their home is worth, MLS will give them updates. Like just set them up on auto emails. Active, sold, like within our neighborhood. And here's one thing that I always tell my agents is if you go to Monsoon, you will see all the properties that are for sale on there that's like active. So especially when you're new, you can screenshot them and be like, hey, I was showing this house today. I was thinking about you, because people are always like, how do I touch base with my clients or my peers without feeling like, do you know anybody that needs to buy a house today or that needs to sell? So if you text that and be like, I was showing this house, it's beautiful, just thinking about you guys. One, you're letting them know, especially when you're new, like you have a client, right? Even though you don't, there's a little bit of lying there, but you can go preview that house. But it allows them to get to know you, that you're a realtor, you're actually out there working. So I'm all about the free stuff, but I feel like so many of us look outside of what we need to get done, when in reality there's so many things that we can do that's already in front of us that you can get done and it's free and you can focus on that, and it will help you actually sell homes.
Awesome, that's great. I'm going to piggyback on what you said. I like free stuff too. And one of the things that are free are the people you know and the people that know you. Who has iPhone here? iPhones. All right. When you get a chance, open up your iPhone and go to the bottom of your contacts. See how many you have. Everyone you know knows at least 4 people that are going to buy in the next 12 months. Yeah. So if you have 100 contacts, you have 400 possibilities of getting a deal, right? And come from contribution. What value can you bring them, right? You're an expert. You can sit down, grab a cup of coffee, show them what the market's doing. How many of you guys think that the market is great? I think so, right? Most. Exactly. So many people don't know that we're in a beautiful time. We're sitting in a time where this is opportunity. Do you guys know who Warren Buffett is? Raise your hand. Right? What does he say? When people are scared, be what? Greedy. And when people are greedy? Do you think people are greedy or scared right now? Scared. Can you help them out? We're tracking the inventory, talking about social media. We're posting the closings on their contracts and pendings to give people perspective. Did you guys see that the pendings went up? We look at it daily. And you should also be in this sport 100%, because many of us just are waiting for deals to come from Sky instead of picking up the phone. It's free. People want to hear from you, right? So your lenders, they have great information. We were just talking, we just did a video. What kind of percentage, what were you getting your client for closing costs?
All closing costs, 2-1 buy down, 2.5.
2.5%? 2.99 for the second year. Year 3 is 4%, 4.5%. He's getting a 5% commission. I don't know if we can talk about that, but that's what he's getting. So there's deals to be made, but you have to be out there. This guy's running to every single new builder, looking at the houses, doing videos, showing how beautiful they are. People get excited, they call him up. So don't wait for people to call you too. Pick up the phone. My job is calling every single day from 8 to 10, sometimes 9 to 10, sometimes 30 minutes. But it's a daily routine that I have for 4 days. It's free. Pick up your phone, show value to your clients, and I guarantee you in the next 2 to 3 months, you're gonna have a bunch of deals.
Is that guaranteed?
Guaranteed. Well, you have to know what you're saying, because that's another thing, right? You were mentioning that. And one more thing before I hand you over the mic. Make sure you guys, I want to commend you first for being here. Give you guys a big round of applause, please. Most people expect to get business without investing in themselves. You guys invested in yourselves, and you guys are going to get rewarded for that. There's nothing you can do without learning. You can trial and error, and you were mentioning that. That's huge. You have to invest in yourself. Seminars, coaches, meetings, conferences. You're going to meet the greatest people. You're going to run into people that are going to help you go to the next level. I'm here for a reason, right? Yeah. I met you guys. We've been partners for a while. So congrats for being here, guys. That's another thing. Great people. One thing that I learned is everything's been done already. Everything you want to know. So if I would have started differently, I would have started a great team. I would have started with the people that have and aligned with what I believe in, because it's not about just money, right? Like lifestyle is one of them. I want to have a good life. I want to have good health. We were just talking about this earlier. And I want to have my spiritual life in check. I want to have my health in check. I want to have my financials in check, which are very important. And that's what I would have done differently. I would have found those people that have done it. I ran across Keller Williams in 2017, actually 2017, which if I would have known how the quality of what they provided and how they had already been successful and they had all the guides for it, I would have been there, you know? But again, this is why you show up here. You learn these things and you learn from that and grow. Go and grow.
Yep.
Thank you. You know what? A lot of things that you're sharing, thank you for sharing those. One of the biggest things that we're all salespeople. And one of the things that a lot of people don't know is what even the definition of a salesperson is. What is it? Anybody can tell me? I'm going to share it. Someone who persuades. If I had learned at a younger age how to be a better salesperson, like sell me this pen, if you guys have ever heard it, but how many of us have practiced it? Yeah. And so I'm going to tell you, your best coach is probably yourself, looking yourself in the mirror every morning. You know, what are you going to do today to listen? Once again, a salesperson is somebody who listens more than they talk. Because we're going to eventually get to what you do for a craft, but let's find out what the pain points are for the client, the person that you're trying to help out first. They're going to tell you everything that they really need, but I'm going to tell you, I get all the complaints. I've managed brokerage for the last 17 years. I practice, I've done a lot of sales, and I always tell my agents that I've walked into appointments with, don't say anything. Listen to what their pain points are. Mm-hmm. I can't for the life of me find out how real estate agents, I'm going to get upset a little bit, I'll do the videos for lenders. Yeah. You know what? You guys have a lot of really great lenders here that have programs. Why won't you let them do the program and speak about the lending programs? Mm-hmm. We are really good at creating the videos. Let the experts do what they do best. Make sure that you have the experts with you whenever you're doing some of this stuff, because guess what? We talk about delegating. This cuts another piece of work out of the way, because when the client calls you about their loan program, guess what? Now you're also the loan officer again, right? And then if you call them on behalf of the title company, guess what? Now you're the escrow officer too. Yeah. So that's one of the biggest things I wish I would have learned better. Become a better salesperson. And it is to learn how to persuade people by listening. The second one is delegate. You know, it's good that you're good at a lot of things, but you got to be darn good at one. And if you delegate, you're going to get an opportunity to really become really good at one skill, and that's being a salesperson. By the way, one of the things that we should all lean into is becoming a salesperson. Even lenders, escrow officers, home warranty companies, roofing contractors. By the way, nobody thinks of you guys until it rains, right? They're thinking of you today, right? Because nobody's calling them back. So that's how you become a better salesperson. So please lean into those two things. Know how to sell, and at the same time, too, know how to delegate.
Thank you so much. We'll move into number 3. How have you played into your strengths, and how has that helped motivate you towards success? Whether that's diving into certain lifestyles, consistency in work ethic, building relationships, etc. We'll start with you. Yeah, we'll just go down.
Okay, so how did I play into my strengths? First of all, I found the right place where they would be able to use my strengths. We are a division of security national of our region, and Svetlana is our executive regional manager. She does all the financials and all the stuff that has to do with corporate and all of that I don't like to do. Okay, and I do mostly everything that has to do with the relationship with the loan officer, the maintaining those relationships with the loan officer, the figuring out loans, the scrubbing this, and making sure you know how to do your job. Those loans that are falling apart, I can put them back together, and I know the insides and outs. And at one point when we were smaller, I had the access to pull docs, to fund the loan, to do everything, right, on every single side of the loan. And that was my strength, and that continues to be my strength, to be able to figure out things that just don't look right, to be able to go with somebody and say, like, these are your numbers, these are your conversion ratios, this is how many loans you need to get every month if you want to reach these goals. This is how many calls you need to make in order to be able to get these many leads, to get able to get this applications. This is how many agents you have, and how many agents need to give you how many leads in order to get, I'm able to make those numbers make sense for someone. And I was able to find somebody who had the strength of doing something else, right? And then as we kept on growing, we were able to find somebody else, which is Tony over here, who's able to build those relationships, and he's our growth manager. So I got to focus on something I was really good at. Solana focuses on something she's really good at. Tony focuses on something that he's really good at. And we were able to keep on growing and growing and growing. We became a region in September of 2023. We grew by 260% by the end of by 2024. And we were able to grow a region out of our region and to go on their own in January of 2025. So we're back to being small, but we were able to have a baby and let them go and do their own thing, right? But it's everybody focusing at what they're really good at and trusting the team. So I don't remember what the question was anymore.
Play into your strengths, yeah.
Yeah, so those were our strengths. We found them, and we continue to find people who are really good at something else. Like, we found that our LOA was really good at marketing, and now she's our marketing director. She had the training, got it done. She's super good at social media, and usually it's not me behind my social media posts because I don't know how to do that.
I would say start with your vision. I feel like we get into real estate. I was a timeshare baby. I did timeshares for 14 years prior to get into real estate. But my vision with real estate is I wanted freedom because I wanted to travel, and also because we have 4 kids, and I didn't want to pick up my kids at 6 p.m. anymore while it's getting dark. So for me, it's finding what really brings you joy and doing a lot of that. Even though I do a lot of things that I don't like to do because that's control, so I feel like letting go of those things that you don't like to do. I feel like that practice of writing down, like, okay, this is what I do on a daily basis. This is what I don't like to do. I'm going to delegate that, let that go. And also realizing, I think, when you look inwards and realize, like, okay, when I do this, I become this person, and I don't like that person, right? So that's not necessarily, even though you might be great at it, but if you don't like that person that you are doing that thing, that's not necessarily your strength. So for me, finding your strengths would be what really brings you joy, which for me is coaching, seeing other people succeed, and also the things that I'm passionate about, which is finding that freedom and time with your family, and also going back to what did you get in, and ask yourself, what did you get into real estate for? initially, because deep down, you know that's there, and you know you're gonna find it, even though after like maybe like a year or 6 months of not doing any deals, you're like, okay, this is the right place for me. I feel like if you really hold on to that and say, I got into real estate for this reason, you're going to find it because God planted that seed in your heart, and it's, you know, God's going to use that as a testimony. I've done real estate for the past 20 years, so I really came into the market 2008, 2009. I did it part-time previous to that. And, you know, this market will definitely, if you have gone through the tough times, which I know some people feel like, you know, last year was horrible and the year before, but there's a lot of opportunities there, you guys. And I want to mention commissions. Like, you can get paid 5% right now just showing a brand new home, which is like the easiest thing that you can do. But yeah, like, go back and be like, this is why I got into real estate, this is what I'm gonna work towards it, because your strength is gonna be there. Your strength and how you're gonna find your joy in doing what you do, it's gonna be there. And just go back to initially that seed that got you in this industry in the first place.
Thank you.
That's awesome. I don't think I can say any more. No. You can't succeed alone. I mean, you have to have help and you have to delegate. We've been hearing that word quite often. And to me, the freedom, like Michelle was talking about, is everything. At the end of the day is, what is the lifestyle that you want and how do you want to live your life, right? Because I'm not living again. I don't know anybody that has come back, you know, from the other life. So I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing, I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun with what I do. And I'm transitioning by April 16 next year. I'm only going to work 3 days a week. Right now I work 4. But I'm going to vacation 1 week a month too, right? So these are the kinds of things that you can do if you put your mind into it, and it's doable. You can be anywhere you want in 5 years. I just shared a video of one of our friends who 5 years ago started his real estate career, not even as a realtor, and he owns 33 doors. So if he did it, that's another thing you guys can, when we'll talk about it in the next few questions. But anyways, working your strengths. Like for me, I enjoy what I do. I like the thrill of the hunt. I like to prospect still and go out there. I don't go and show homes anymore. However, I set up appointments for my team, or I bring people in. And we have transaction coordinators in Mexico. We have a TC team. There's 5 of them, actually, the editors in Mexico. Gio does video here. Helen helps with the events. We have 12 agents. So it's really cool to be able to do more for your community, because that's another thing. You're giving back. And you want to give the best of you, right? And if you're doing things that you don't like, you're not going to be happy about it. And you're going to be showing that. So play into your strengths. I have fun with what I do. I don't feel like I'm working. This week I met with a client, sold them 2 homes, just having a conversation over coffee. As you get better in your trade, you're going to learn more things. And again, having fun with it, enjoying it, and playing into your strengths is the best thing you can do, because you're going to show it. You're going to have fun with it, and you're not going to feel like you're working. I don't feel like I work. I feel like I have fun with people. I hang out with them. I sell them homes, and we make great money. So that's my strength.
You should have seen Juan's scene when he said he's going to go to 3 days. They're sitting up front. They all gasp for air. But I think it's important that you have some time to yourself. I think time management is one of the biggest things that you're going to learn in this business too, if you're going to be good, because you can't be everywhere at the same time. But going back to your question, my strengths have always been not just the coaching, educational component, but the sales. I've managed a team of as much as 140 agents. And nobody's going to tell you the problems that you have when you have that many people, because not every agent's good. Not every agent's coachable. I'm going to tell you guys right now that if you're going to be good at your craft, you've got to surrender and lean into what people are offering you. A lot of people, we said it a couple times up here, they don't invest in themselves. Mm-hmm. I invest in myself. I spend a lot of my own hard-earned money on coaching. I have a coach. I've had a coach for the last 20 years. My wife's also my coach. She's out here. She was helping registration a while ago, telling me what to say and what not to do. But a lot of us don't do that. And I wish I would have. That's my strength now, where I coach a lot more, because I can help a lot more people get into homes that they need, people that are struggling, because sometimes agents don't know how to really sell the product. And once again, let the experts do what they do. If you're working with the bank, please make sure you let them do all the speaking on the products that they actually are putting out there. Don't be that person that walks in. That's the strength that I have too, is making sure that when I pick the right people, it's the right people all the time. Because then you're backpedaling a lot trying to help them. just because they're your friends. Friends can make you look bad too.
Yeah.
And then you don't become friends, right? So the biggest strength that I have is that being able to know, I can tell if an agent's really serious about their career in real estate, because every time I do start something with an interview with an agent, I always have them write down 10 things that they are gonna actually try to accomplish this year. And if they get nervous in front of me just on one-on-one, I could already tell if it's not gonna be a good fit for real estate. And maybe that's why there's a notepad in front of you guys. Maybe you guys should be writing 10 things you guys are gonna accomplish this year. Because I guarantee you, by the time you leave, you're gonna circle one of those. And you're probably gonna really hone into that. Like I said, that's one of my strengths, coaching. That was a freebie, guys. The next one's gonna be $695. You guys wanna see me. So, enjoy that one.
Awesome.
Thank you, round of applause, please. For your information, we have about 15 minutes left until we take our networking break, so I think I'm gonna try to get through 2 more questions. If not, we'll just do one, and then we can move into one of these questions while you're in your mastermind session. But I think this is important because Juan, you just talked about investing, open, some people want to have 30 doors. That might be their goal. Some people are like, hey, I don't want to do it. That's not what I want to do. I want to take my money, put it to work for me another way. So I'm going to skip question 4. We're going to move to number 5 right quick because I think that is important. This is part of growing and going, especially that bank account. You want to grow those investments, right? So what are some financial tools that you have used to ensure your money is working for you, whether that is tax solutions, investments, what have you? Ricardo, we're going to start with you and work back this way.
I think it's important. You know what, in the Hispanic community, we don't talk about money. That's like taboo, right? No, you don't talk about that. I've been going to pay mortgage payments since I was a kid with my parents. They'd always take me. My father talked about money at a really young age and how to use it, how not to use it. And for him, he always had everything paid off cash. He says, I don't know how you guys do it these days. How many of us can actually tell us to a penny how much you have in your account? I can. My wife said, what are you doing again? Looking for Wi-Fi, see if there's opportunity to look at my bank account right now, because I forgot, did something go through. We smile, we laugh, but I'm gonna tell you, a lot of us don't know. The minute you start finding out how much money you do have, that's when your money starts growing, because you're really more careful about how you spend your money. I rarely go to Starbucks. I make my coffee at home. I learned that from the Shark Tank. O'Leary talks about, I don't even go. He's a billionaire. A lot of us will show up to Starbucks and order a $10 coffee. I stand in the back and just get a regular one. So I think it's important that you know how to actually use your money and make it grow for yourself, because a lot of us don't even know how to use that. And then start teaching somebody. If you're going to tell your clients how to actually prepare for home ownership, are we preparing for financial literacy ourselves? How can you tell somebody to do something you haven't even done? Some of us are in worse conditions. And some of us don't even own a home. Let's get you to that point first, and then go out there and talk about how people should actually own a home. Because I've got a lot of clients that I've helped in the past that they always say, Ricardo, if it wasn't for you, my kids wouldn't have a college education. I'm like, oh, that's a lot to put on me. He goes, yeah, but you forced me to buy that house. I didn't force you. Because I told you I wasn't going to buy today. I said, I want to show houses that make sense to you. Would I ever live in this house? Do I feel comfortable being in here and letting them know that this is exactly the way it's going to go? We position people for a lot of things. And I think that if you don't have your financial house in order, you can't help anybody.
Gold right there.
I just want to make sure we got the pioneer title, notepads, we got the pens and all that. Please put them to use. Sorry.
About 6 years ago, one of my landscapers, who's an investor, opened up my eyes. So I'm gonna write a book called The Landscaper Who Opened My Eyes. He showed me how to invest. I brought him this deal. This was back in 2016. And I says, dude, this house is 117, and the realtor's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's 175. I don't know why he's selling it so cheap. So I bring him the deal. He's like, all right, let's go take a look at it. We go see the house. Looks at the house. He says, Juanito, makes sense. I'll buy it. He buys it cash. As soon as we close, he waited to close. He's like, why didn't you buy it? And I'm like, oh, crap. I feel like he slapped me in the face and punched me in the gut. So after that, I wear 2 hats. My first hat is I'm a realtor. I'm here to provide you a service. But then the second hat is I'm an investor. If that house makes sense for me, I'm going to buy it. First of all, I'm going to do what's best for you. But if it doesn't make sense, I'm going to buy it right now. So, and that's what I did exactly with my client last week. So I own several doors. I started investing 6 years ago. And as realtors, a lot of times we just work. We're transactional. We have to be intentional because we just go through these. You guys see the deal first before anybody else. So look at it and look at it as an investor and start buying and holding real estate. This is my advice that I believe in. Other people say flip. I think flipping is sexy. I don't like that sexy because I just got to pay taxes and then have to do it again. And I love spending money, so I'll spend it. So instead of doing that, I'm always broke because I always invest in real estate. I buy another deal. Right now we're buying a bunch of properties and stuff. But it's fun, it's cool, and you'll start building wealth, right? And a lot of you guys that are younger, I see a lot of young faces here, start now. Because we wait sometimes too long to start investing, and before you know it, you're like, I should have, could have, would have. So let me give you guys an example. Who wishes that they would have bought 5 years ago? Raise your hand. What about 10 years ago? What about 15 years ago? What are you going to say 5 years from now? Oh, I should have, could have, would have. Do it now. Don't wait.
Don't clients always ask that, is it a good time to buy? No.
It's always.
5 years ago you should buy.
It's always the right time to buy, and don't wait to buy real estate, but buy real estate and wait. Good job.
Yeah.
Here's the day.